Alright, so this video, let's take a look at doing confidence interval for a proportion p. So here we have our confidence interval. P hat minus e is less than p hat plus e. And we're going to do this in Excel. And what we'll do in Excel, instead of writing it as an inequality, we'll just write it as an interval. We can do that. Okay, we'll write it like this. So you can see what we need is we need to know p hat, which is r over n, and q hat is 1 minus p hat. R is the number of successful outcomes, and n is the total. Okay, that's how many people you tested or whatever. All right, and then the number of trials n should be large, so that both n times p hat is greater than 5 and n times q hat is greater than 5. And then we get e is equal to z sub c times the square root of p hat times q hat over n. C is our confidence level, and z sub c is the critical value for confidence level C based on the standard normal distribution. All right, so that's all the things that we need. So let's take a look at the problem we're going to do. And you see that there's work here already. I did another video. I used this same problem, and I worked it out by hand. So if you want to check that one out, but I'm gonna do this same problem, and I'm gonna work it using Excel. And we can compare the numbers. So let's see what we've got here. So it says there's a town with a population of 20,000 people. So of those 20,000 people, we chose 800 of them to get a flu vaccine. And of those 800 people that we sampled that received the flu vaccine, 600 did not get the flu. So there were 600 successes. That would be R. Okay. N would be 800 because that's how many got the flu vaccine. So let P represent the probability that the shot was successful. Find a 99% confidence interval for P. All right, well, let's come over here to Excel and see what we've got. So I've already got all this typed up. I just don't have the formulas in there. The gray areas, that's where you would that's the values you're going to input yourself. These areas, these orange areas, that's where you'll have a formula. And then of course down here we'll have our final formula for the confidence interval. Okay. All right, so let's look at alpha. Okay. In this case, alpha, now what they want with alpha is we're doing a 99% confidence interval. So alpha is going to be 1 minus 0.99, which is 0.01. Okay, that's what we need for Excel to use in the Excel, the way we're going to use the Excel formulas. We need the 1 minus whatever the confidence interval is. So if they ask for a 95% confidence interval, we would do 1 minus 0.95, which would give us 0.05. Okay, that's what we want. That's what we need there. And you'll see in a minute when I type the formula in to get our z sub c. All right. So we know this is 0.01. Okay. The number of successes, remember there were 600 that did not get the flu, so that would be 600. The number of trials n, we gave the flu vaccine, or they gave the flu vaccine to 800 people. All right, and so now I have p hat. Well, first, let me show you how I got typed in the p hat. So all you do is you type in the p, and then you go up here to you're on the insert tab and go to symbols, symbol, and you will come down here, this combining diacritical marks, click that, and you see the little hat symbol there, click that and hit insert and close, and that gives you the p hat, and then q hat would be the same. Now z with this subscript c, let me show you how I did that. So you just put z c, and then you can just come in here and highlight just the C, and then right click on it and hit format cells, and then this pops up, and then you see this subscript, click on that and hit OK, and that'll give you the Z sub C. Alright, so that's how you type those in. Alright, so let's calculate p hat. Okay, so remember, p hat is equal to r divided by n, and we hit enter. So there's r. Q is equal to 1 minus p hat. Hit enter. All right. Now sometimes in these problems they'll give you p hat. They'll just say it's 0.75. And then other times you have to calculate it. Most of the time you'll probably have to calculate it. So, if if they give it to you, then just enter it in, and then you can always enter this formula in easily. So I don't know why I'm out here with these. Let's just move them back over here. Let's highlight that again. Okay. We want that to be gray. All right. Now we need Z sub C. Okay. So we're going to use the normal distribution function to find this in Excel. So let me come back over here and let me draw this out for you so you can understand what we're actually doing, what the formula's doing. All right, so we're looking for a 99% confidence interval. So here we have this is 0.99. Okay, that's your 99% confidence interval. So we have 0.01 left over. Okay, the 0.01 left over. So that means this area and this area both add up to 0.01. So since this is symmetrical, this is 0.005 and this is 0.005. Okay, so what I want for my Z sub C, I need this. So I have to figure out the area to the left of this Z value, okay, which in this case is 0.99 plus 0.005, which that is 0.995. Okay, so what Z value gives me an area to the left of 0.995? Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so how can we figure that up in Excel? Okay, well, I can come over and I'm gonna have to refer back to this while we're doing the formula so you can see what's going on. So if I hit insert a function, okay, and you come over here to all, and I want the normal distribution formulas. So I'll type in norm, and it takes me to this, and see this norm S, no, that's not what I want, norm.s.inv. That's what I need. Okay, So if I hit OK, okay, it's asking me for the probability. Okay, so what is my probability? Well, remember, the probability in the standard normal curve is the area to the left of that z value. Okay, so how am I going to get that? Well, if I pull this back up, well, look at this. I need this. Well, if you remember, in that first cell, I entered in alpha is equal to 0.01, right? So I split this in half and I put 0.05 here, 0.005, and 0.005 here. Well, remember, the entire area under the curve is 1. So if I take 1 minus this value, you see that? That's going to leave me with this, the 0.995. So it's 1 minus half of alpha. You see that? Half of that value. All right. So let's come back to this and we'll do 1 minus, and then I want alpha over 2. Okay, comma. No, I'm sorry. No comma. So 1 minus alpha over 2. And see, you can see that probability is 0.995. That's what we were looking for. And I hit OK, and there's my z sub c. Okay. Now, we need E. Well, remember the formula for E. Let's see, I've got it written here. There it is. E is equal to z sub c times the square root of p hat times q hat over n. Okay, so we have to enter that into Excel. So let's come over here, and this is equal to z sub c. So I'll click that. Okay, and if you can't see it right here very good, you can see it up here. Okay, so it's that times, and then the square root. So I can do SQRT, parenthesis. And what I'll do is I'll close this parenthesis also. Okay, and then I'll just come clicking inside those parentheses. All right, so now I'm ready to do p hat times q hat divided by n. So the p hat times q hat, that needs to be in parentheses. So parentheses, that's p hat times q hat, okay, and then close parentheses, divided by n, and then I hit enter, and there's E, 0.039434. Oh, and we did forget to do this, didn't we? N times p hat. Well, that's got to make sure that's greater than 5. So n times p hat, hit enter. 600, we're okay there. So this is equal to n times q hat, hit enter. 200, that's larger than 5, so we can use the normal distribution. Okay, so let's finish this up. So now let's type this formula in, our confidence interval. Now remember, we want our two numbers separated by a comma and parentheses. We want that in parentheses. So let's hit equals. So we need a parenthesis. So to do the parenthesis, we'll put that in quotes. That'll put a parenthesis there on the left. And so we can combine different things by using the and symbol. And I need what? I need p hat minus E. Okay, so that's going to give me the p hat minus E. And then I need a comma in between them. So I can use quotes, comma, quote. Okay, and I mean that comma will be right up against the numbers. If you want to space it out, you can come in here and click and put a space between the quotes and comma. Okay, so there's my comma. And then I need p hat plus E. So I'll put and then I'll do p hat plus E. Okay, so that's that number. And then I need to close my quotes. So and in parenthesis, I put a closed parenthesis. No, close my parenthesis, not the quote. And then we hit enter. And there's your confidence interval, 0.710565. Let's see, when we get here, 0.7105. So you can see that, it's pretty close. Okay, so Excel calculates it like it's supposed to be. We're kind of estimating when we're doing it by hand. But yeah, I will post this Excel file on my website so you can download it and use it. You can see it has the worksheet for a proportion, confidence interval for proportion, a confidence interval for the mean, sigma unknown. I did a video on this, a separate one. And then you got the confidence interval for the mean, sigma is known. I did a video on it using Excel, and all of them by hand as well. So I hope you like it. Check out my other videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, thanks.